Hello, hello! In this RH Jam, we look into why do we find it so difficult to accept simplicity, our battles with doubt and self-doubt, above all, and how this may be affecting our recognition of miracles. Author and RH practitioner Virginia Adams will be sharing with us her own experience as a creative and as a facilitator of Reconnective Healing. Let's say hello to her real quick. Hi, Virginia! And we'll also take a look at our Palm Springs, California programs this coming December. And especially at one very special speaker, Frederick Ponzlov. For those of you out there who do know the history of Reconnective Healing, he is the co-author of Solomon Speaks on Reconnecting Your Life. And we'll also share with you a little bit more on the updates on that amazing live stream that is happening on December 8th. All coming up in today's RH Jam. All right, so welcome back. And I am Anna Clavel. And if this is the first time you've joined us at the RH Jam, this is a half hour dedicated to anything and everything Reconnective Healing and to themes and topics that we know are important to you, because we also understand and acknowledge that they're important to us. And today's topic is no less. We're going to be talking about how we tend to complicate things. We're going to talk about self-doubt. We're going to talk about miracles and recognizing miracles and how all of this becomes so simplified in Reconnective Healing. We will be touching on topics like these every week. But guess what? You are not likely to be at the very front row of knowing what we're doing next unless you like our video, subscribe to our channel, and that way you will always be alerted to our next theme, topic, idea, magnificent event, and upcoming projects, plus the latest news from Dr. Eric Pearl and Gillian Fleer. And now, without further ado, let's talk about complication. All right, so why do we create complications? As I was thinking about this topic, I remembered a personal story from when I was 16, and I discovered that I really loved baking. And I had grown up going to bakeries my entire life. I was in love and fascinated with the whole artistry of making a cake and the frosting and everything else. So I set out to make my very first cakes. And I tried, and some of the first ones were, they never rose, right? But then there was the one that came out like this, and I want to show you. To me, it was a moment of marvel. And something in me said, wow, this is a cake. This is truly a cake. It smells like a cake. I can tell it's a cake. The aroma, I snuck a little bit of a taste. The taste of a cake is exactly as I was hoping a cake that I made could be. And my very heart was like, I've done it. This is it. It's perfect. It's beautiful. But I promise you, not 5 minutes had gone by that I started thinking, wow, it doesn't really look like the cakes in the bakery. And how come I haven't thought about putting a little bit of frosting? Maybe it's not quite the cake it needs to be because it doesn't have all the frills. And what about the colored little shiny stuff that they put on top? So I decided that this cake was not it. I decided to do changes to it so I could emulate what I thought in my doubt about a cake should be, what it should look like. And I guess I don't need to tell you that it ended up looking more like this. So yeah, and fortunately my parents I'm still so encouraging in everything that I do, that they did say tasted good, but you know, I could tell. So really, at the core of it, my lesson and what I like to share with you is that maybe the whole idea about not recognizing what we need is because we don't stop to smell the cake. Okay? We need to take a moment to take in the cake. So Reconnective Healing brings instant healings that some might call miracles. They are miracles by any definition that we can come up with in our modern lexicon and in our combined human history. Yeah, some of the things that are experienced by those who receive the miracle or witness the miracle is that it's so simple. How is it possible that something could be this simple? And here's why, and I want to share this amazing graphic by Scott Johnson. It may be because our mind gets involved. The little man says, "What the heck is that?" And the other guy answers, "Well, it's just my mind." Yes, it has all to do with our doubts, our understanding of what our worth is, and a need to prove perhaps something. Can I be better? Is it upmanship? Can I do it differently than somebody else? I want to invite right now Virginia Adams to join us to discuss at length what her experience of simplicity, complications, and miracles look like. But first, I want to remind you that we are here to chat with you as well. So let's see. Hello to everyone joining us. We have, hey, Jillian Fleer, welcome. That's awesome. We have Lexi and Cecilia Alejandro, and we have Sally, and I saw Abdullah earlier. Hi, Abdullah, and hi, Jennifer. Maria Luisa, as always, welcome as well, and hello, Paul. Alrighty, and now, really, here is Virginia.
So, um, what I know as a Reconnective Healing practitioner is that we're taught to just simply place our attention on the frequencies, become the catalyst with the frequencies, and let go. And let go is a really, really hard concept for our trained minds that say, hold on, control, make sure you do it this way, that right. And your cake is a perfect analogy to, did you measure it right? Did it have the right, in base? of point A to point B and what's the shortest distance, and everything in processes. I created processes in the work that I did so that people could get to point A and point B as quickly as possible and efficiently. But what happens with that, at least for me, when we complicated, and we bring that into our spiritual life or our healing practices, or actually now it's my day to day. When you bring that in, you actually leave out space for creativity. Creativity only comes when you've expanded yourself to allow in for all the variables, all the wonderful, beautiful variables, because it's within the chaos of our universe that creation came. And so when we allow in chaos, we get to witness. So the simple allowing chaos, we get to witness creation or miracles. Because what is a miracle? It's just a what I call like a change in trajectory in life. It's just another little shift over here, to see it in a different way. So I think that complicating things takes away creativity, and so that's my take on it. And with that, I've been able to, oh my gosh, expand in so many ways in my creativity. And it all started with my journey with Reconnective Healing and the training, and just allowing this to expand. But it did start with me going to my live immersion and becoming that multisensory person so that I could see, sense, feel, know. Miracles, when the simplest things are miracles, and we forget that those grandiose things are a bunch of a million gazillion miracles piled on top of each other. So that's my experience.
I think that is a beautiful point that you've made about how transformational the training the live immersion is. I noticed that we were having issues with sound. Is it back on, guys? Just text me and let me know if sound is back. Let's see, chat. Is sound back? Can everybody hear me now? Oh, no sound still? All right, let's see what's going on. All righty. No sound still? Is it better now? Okay, perfect. So we can continue. Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty. Ginger, as you were saying, do you mind if I call you Ginger?
Oh, please do.
Okay, guys. Virginia also goes by Ginger, so that you know if I refer to Ginger or Virginia, it's the same person.
Same person.
All right. So you were saying about the transformative experience that the live immersion was for you. Tell me a little bit about what were the first moments in which you allowed yourself to see the simplicity of it all.
You know what? Time and time again, I tell people that what led me to Reconnective Healing was one thing, but what kept me with my interest and my need to know more, and then ultimately becoming a practitioner, was the simplicity. The whole concept of Reconnective Healing, the way that I look at it, is we step out of codependency. There is no worry about, for the healer or the healee, the practitioner or the client, about the outcome. And that simple, which is my take on Dr. Pearl's philosophy, is that we don't have to worry about those things. And that's what in Reconnective Healing, once I let go, so when I went to my live immersion and I let go of the need to put it into some system, some do this, do that, oh, these are they're going to teach me some formula, and I let go to the allowing. Oh my gosh, the beautiful joy that came with that, allowing, the simplicity of just knowing that I wasn't in control, and I got to surrender or relinquish is a better word, a deeper word, to this beautiful, benevolent frequency that has the best interest of everything, everyone, throughout time, if there is time.
Yeah, right. That's a good one too. If there is time. I think that's an entire RH Jam discussion, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Ye-
well, that's a whole other.
this whole concept of stepping out of codependency. And I love what Jillian said here in the chat. It's oneness. Truly, it is.
It is.
I've had the privilege, guys, of reading Ginger's writings. And I have to say, I can see the inspiration that flows through your words. Tell us a little bit about your writing projects, how that creativity flows into your work.
So here's the crazy craze. And, some people might believe me or not believe. This is my miracle. This is the recognition of my miracle. I didn't write prior to Reconnective Healing. I told stories and I had ideas, but I never wrote because I had all of the rules and regulations or the formulas that you had to follow. And, my grammar and learning another language had kind of even, ruined that. But now through the beautiful flow of Reconnective Healing, through the frequencies, somehow it opened, me saying yes to it is a big part of it. And it flows. And the information coming in is not of my knowledge. It's not, my mind doesn't know this. I didn't study it. It just comes through. So it's this tapping into this unified field, the oneness, the Reconnective Healing field of knowing, and this information comes through, and it's so beautiful, and it's so, the words themselves are healing, but they're not my words. I'm the scribe. I'm putting it down on paper, and it's been such a beautiful experience for me. Something I never expected. This is one thing I didn't raise my hand and walk into the live immersion and say, okay, I want to be a writer. Can you just fix me inside? So my fixing just happened innately. I came back to the remembrance of who I am, and the way that I'm going to express this right now is through the creative process of writing.
Actually, we have a comment here from Lexi Ginger. You didn't write until you were open with Reconnective Healing.
True. Absolutely true. I have never, in fact, the last time that I wrote something was in high school, and I was accused of plagiarism, and they told me that there was no way that could have come from me, and I stopped. That shut it all down. And so it wasn't until I walked it through those rooms in Reconnective Healing, and I got this extreme urge to start writing and blogging about, stories that had been happening to me, not just, prior to the Reconnective Healing, but just my stories, and they just started coming. And the more I've said yes, the more powerful they've, to the point that right now I have a manuscript sitting on an editor's desk waiting for maybe, cross your fingers, that, and it is so not of me. I can guarantee you that this came through divine inspiration, or through the power of these frequencies.
It's important what you mentioned there. Seems to me, and this is something that we've talked about in the RH Jam, if the audience, our amazing viewers recall, we've talked about how external influences sometimes curtail our own innate organic development of our own talents and abilities. And in that, it becomes an inner narrative of, I can't do this because, or you go in the other direction, and then you need to really outdo yourself and prove something to the world all the time. Reconnective Healing, as Virginia has expressed, it seems to be one of these, this ability of Reconnective Healing to just let that go, allow us to let it go, whatever it is that we're hanging on and we made it our badge that we can or cannot do, makes it so easy, so simple.
So simple.
It's like what Jillian calls the new known. It's like there is this download of information that it's brand new. You never had it before, and at the same time feels like it was always there. And so it is. I love how simple how simply that happens in reconnective healing. We are running out of time, and I'm so sorry to cut you out a little. Tell me a little bit more about where can people find more about what you're writing. And you're by the way, guys, I have links up for Virginia down here, but maybe Virginia has other things that she wants to share with us.
Quickly, I'll just say, if you ever want to chat with me, I'm always right here. You can find me at my website, which is Virginia-Adams.com. Subscribe, you'll get my blogs, which is always my musings of, the way I see this crazy world. Or my Facebook page, you can find me there. And you just never know where I'll show up. So, and I'm always wide open to answer any questions. So, and if I don't know the answer, I do know a lot of people behind this screen that can help you with those. So, that's it. That's who I am.
Ginger, Virginia, a million thanks and muchísimas gracias. It's been a true pleasure to have you here on board. And please, as you've heard Virginia, if you have any questions for her, post them here in our chat and we can relay them to her or contact her directly. The links are below. And I've also put a beautiful sample of her blog writing. She created for the Reconnection a beautiful exposition on her training at a Catalyst event, and I really encourage you to read it because it is beautiful, and it was our inspiration actually for last week's RH Jam. So thank you again, Virginia. Mwah, con amor.
Un besote.
Un besote. Alrighty. So what do we learn from this little conversation? First of all, that things may be exactly as they need to be. And it takes for us to just let go to perhaps see that. So when you're presented with a beautiful scenery, simple like this, with the Zen garden, maybe you don't want to go into this. It's like, oh, how can I rearrange it? Add a house and some little sparkling stars and dusted with a sugar coating, Sometimes things are exactly as they need to be. Stay with me because I have 2 more things I need to share with you. I want to share with you information about the amazing live stream that we're doing from Palm Springs, California in a few minutes. Plus, I want to talk to you about Fred, and Fred is going to be a speaker at the Palm Springs event as well. Twice on Friday and Saturday. Plus, I have 5 things I'd like to share with you. 5 takeaways on how you can help yourself step away from trying to complicate things. Let's see how we're doing with the chat first. Hello, everyone, and welcome again. Any questions, anything that you want to place as a comment, please go ahead and do so. We're here. We'll be answering. And if we don't answer during the program, we'll answer afterwards. So make sure that you leave your comment. And now let's take a look at what we have for that amazing live stream. So I think most of you have heard by now or know a little bit about the special event that we'll be launching on December 8th, which is a Sunday between 10 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a first for the Reconnection, and we are going to be broadcasting live from the training floor. A beautiful sequence of life-transforming information, lessons, a self-healing meditation, and for those who are watching live, a distance session as well. Let's take a look at this quick video. All right. So, December 8th, Sunday, starting at 10 a.m. I'll put the link below. Take a look, read more about it, because here is a once in a who knows when opportunity to do this with us live and not only learn about self-healing, but also receive a distance healing session. Now, let me let you know, the distance healing session only happens if you're watching it live, okay? And for those who are attending in person, Mr. Fred Ponzlov will be there on Friday and Saturday, gifting us with his wisdom, the one he's received personally on all these years of interaction with the entity we've come to know as Solomon. But for those who are attending live, on Friday, he will be channeling Solomon. And that's something that I have to tell you, my dear friends, is not going to happen online. You can only be there in person to see this taking place. So I encourage you as well to take a look at our links below and see if maybe you still have, I don't know, the inspiration. Maybe this is the moment to grab Fred, because he'll be there answering questions as well. And he is one amazing human being to get to know. So link is below. Take a look. Get in touch with us if you have questions, okay? And yes, again, Fred Ponzlov will be channeling Solomon on Friday and then reading and discussing Solomon Speaks on Saturday, only in person. Alrighty? And now, as I promised, 5 takeaways, super quick, about simplicity and complexity. Alright, so here are 5 things that hopefully will help you. Well, certainly writing them got me in the frame of understanding the whole relationship between simplicity and complexity a little better. So, what is your experience of creating complexity and simplicity? Truly, let go first of the illusion, because the cake does not need any more frosting. It doesn't. These are the ways to recognize where simplicity is, what is simplicity. So whatever remains after you let go of that illusion is what always has been there, what needs to be, what is truth. Third, you have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove. So next time that you feel that you need to add frills or you feel you need to do something, take a moment, smell the cake. Where is this coming from? Is it coming from your instinct, or is it coming from your mind? Is it coming from things that you expect other people would be approving of? Or is it something that is innate to you and is being spoken through from your heart? Because, as number 4 says, the truth comes through your instinct. Your mind is busy doing so many things that are equally important for your well-being. But sometimes it's not necessarily about detecting what is simple. And it puts you square back into doubting yourself, your self-worth about something that you're receiving, whether it is a gift or a miracle, a healing. And Reconnective Healing, number 5, reveals the simplicity of miracles instantly. When you allow yourself to be in the frequencies of Reconnective Healing, you can see, you can feel, you know. There is the knowingness of what you're experiencing. It is that simple because it shows it as what it is, not as we wish it or want it to be. Alrighty, we're getting real closer to the end of our program. And yes, it is our closing statements, and I want to thank everyone again in the Reconnection team for helping us put this amazing program together. Special thanks to Virginia Adams for joining us today. Guys, the definitive experience of Reconnective Healing, it is the one experience. I've put a link here below as well. And right after I'm done with all these last minute announcements, I have 2 more screens with information just for you. So stick around because it'll be information you'll need about the live stream and about Palm Springs in general. And again, the distance session It happens only if you're watching the live stream live. And Fred Ponzlov channeling happens only when you are in person on Friday in Palm Springs on the night of December 7th. Thank you all. Love you all. See you next week. Well, actually, maybe not next week, but the week after, right here on the RH Jam.